I got a lot to get to. First, tell you a little how this show works. Before, how it works is, instead of me always giving you the stats and boring stats and doing that, what I'm going to do is give you my bullet points of what happened, or kind of my thoughts on it, and what are the big keys of the games. I'll be doing that. Also, I want you guys to get active. That's what the point of this show. So every week I'm going to have a question of the week, and I'll give the answers on the Friday, and then also give you the question of the week for the next week on that Friday. So that is all coming up. My question this week is, what do you want to see out of Yackin with Yoni? So hopefully I get some answers. If I do, I'll reply them on Friday. As well as you see, the logo is taped off on the new banner because of that, because the contract is not officially sealed. Therefore, this show is not officially sponsored by them, so I cannot show off their logo until, or say their name, until we get this hopefully sealed and dealed by the end of the week. So that is how the show works. That is that, and hopefully the sponsorship will be here. Recap NFL weekend. First, Packers and Vikings. Packers win that one of a final of 23-14. And let's go to my bullet points. My bullet points for this one, I only had two. AP back to form. He already has the most rush yards since 2009. There's 4 games left to go. He was supposed to be injured when he tore his ACL or something. He came back. What a guy he is. What a competitor. He was able to do an unbelievable job. He's definitely impressing me. And the second one is untimely turnovers by the Minnesota Vikings. They had a good start to this game. They were leading, then all of a sudden, Christian Ponder had a terrible second half. 2 interceptions with the same guy in the end zone, one of them, and one close. So, I mean, a bad break for the Minnesota Vikings, but you got to give all kudos to the Green Bay Packers. They got the job done and win that one again of a final of 23-14. Great, like I said, good game by the Packers. They deserve it. And then for the Bears, if the Bears lose, the Packers would have the tiebreaking and be tied for first. It goes into overtime. The Seahawks beat the Bears of a final of 23-17 in overtime. My keys are this: tale of 2 halves for Matt Forte. First half was struggling, didn't get anything going. Second half, Matt Forte dominated. He was able to get some key points, get some key plays, got a touchdown. Great job of him and Michael Bush. And also, Jay Cutler got this game to overtime. Made that beautiful pass to Brandon Marshall. Robbie Gould being able to be the clutch guy that he is. Was able to get a great field goal to tie it up. But then the defense was tired. And that's my final and third bullet point. I think because they were tired, that's the reason they couldn't do it in overtime. A great catch, and that by overall great touchdown, and that was a win for the Seahawks. So right now the Bears and the Packers are tied for first. Packers technically in first because of they have the tiebreaker over the Bears. So that's what happens there. So the Packers win 23-14. Bears lose to the Seahawks of a final of 23-17 in overtime. Now it's time for we did this on our old show, bringing it back here today. Here's the newest edition of True or False. This is where I will I'll say 3 statements if you're just the first time you're watching the program. If you're how I do it is I'll say a statement and I will tell you if it is true or false. This time it's about the Bulls and the Bucks. Bulls will add another guard. I'm going to say false. I think as of right now they have too many guards, and I think they need to wait for Derrick Rose. Kirk Heinrich and Nate Robinson. Kirk Heinrich has had an injury, but nothing to the point where he's going to be out for a long time. So I think there's nothing you have to worry about there. Nate Robinson's been able to hold up his end of the bargain, so I think nonetheless, I don't think they need another guard. Just wait till Derrick Rose comes back. And also you got Marcus Teague as well. So I'm going to say, I think I had false up there. Oh no, that was right. Sorry, mind fart. So yes, I do not think they will add another guard. Will the Bucks add a center? I'm going to say true. I'm not really sure about this, but I think they do need to add one. They're in dire need of it, and it proved last night against a New Orleans Hornets team that isn't very good, and you lose because of their big guys. If you have big guys that are able to dig down there and stop them, they don't have that many big guys on this team. Their shiners are pretty much Brandon Jennings, Monte Ellis, and Larry Sanders as of late. None of them guys being big guys. So I think they need to add a center, whether it's a trade. I think they need to add somebody if this team wants to be competitive, if this team wants to do something. But I'm really thinking that they're going to have to really got to get something going, and hopefully that is soon for Milwaukee. Final one, Bucks and Bulls will meet in the playoffs. False. I think both these teams are going to be in the bottom tier, which means they'll not really have a chance to play. One of them teams, I don't think will make it through the first round. Will it be the Bulls? Will it be the Bucks? I don't think the Bucks have made it past the first round in a long time. But I still think they're both 2 good teams, but I think they're going to both be in the bottom of the conference. so I don't think they're going to get a chance to meet in the playoffs. So I'm going to say no to that. So Bulls will add another guard. I said false. Bucks will add a center. I said true. Bucks and Bulls will meet in the playoffs. I said false. The newest addition to the thinking chair, and the first one for Yackin with Yoni. What I want to talk about today is the MLB Hall of Fame ballot and who was on it. And two of the main guys I want to focus on is Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. Two guys that have completely different opinions on whether they should be in or not. Mark McGwire has stated in interviews that he wouldn't even vote himself in, which I completely agree with him, and I think that's the best thing for it. So I say good. But Sammy Sosa was in an interview, I believe 2006, when he was asked, do you think you should be in the Hall of Fame? He said, well, look at the numbers. Well, the fact of the matter is, Sammy Sosa, even though you were never caught doing steroids, I think they should use that for you. I think that they can't use that against you if you were never caught. Therefore, I think it should be legal. Just because it was said that you did steroids and all that stuff, but were never caught, I think that should be you should be eligible for the Hall of Fame. But Mark McGwire, still, he was never really caught either. Guys that were caught, like Roger Clemens and who else? Everyone else that was used, I can't really think of any of the names right now, but the main ones, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. But do I think they'll ever get in the Hall of Fame? No. But I think because they were all using it, it was in the steroid era. Did they use steroids? Some people could say yes. Most people say yes. Not a lot of people say no. If you ask my opinion, that's when my love of baseball started with Sammy Sosa and them Cubs teams. He was always a fun. He did it for the fans of what he did. I mean, the whole Court Bat incident and all that stuff that followed. I mean, he had some rough times, but it was definitely fun as a Cub fan to grow up with Sammy Sosa being your hero. You never want to know that, but did he? Odds are he probably did. Him and Mark McGwire both did it. I mean, Jose Canseco said that he knows someone that gave Mark McGwire steroids. So, I mean, you could look at this a million different ways, but I think they'll never get in the Hall of Fame. Do I think that, and I think they both did steroids, but the fact of the matter is, since they didn't officially get caught, never tested positive because they didn't do drug testing, I think they should still be up for the Hall of Fame. That is my new edition of... I'm going to be venting about something that's under my skin, and today that's going to be about LeBron James last night winning the Sportsman of the Year award. Who votes for this? How do you get LeBron James being a Sportsman of the Year? A guy that is so full of himself that he had to join two of his buddies to try to win a championship instead of going to Cleveland, staying there and saying, you know, I deserve this championship. That title I earned. This one he did not. All he was with is with his buddies. If him in the Sports Illustrated cover with the ring and all that, you know what, you could say, I think it's a tainted ring. I mean, when you got him, and when you got to go with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, and once them two were signed, sealed to Miami, he had to do a 1-hour special to pick what team he wanted to be on and get other teams' hopes up. Yes, one of them was the Bulls. Yes, I was hoping he'd be a Chicago Bull. Am I mad because he's not? Of course I am. But the way he did it was definitely absurd. You wouldn't see Michael Jordan do that. You wouldn't see even Kobe Bryant do that. You didn't see Dwight Howard do that, to raise a 1-hour show to say, you know what, I'm going to decide to pick team, but I'm going to hold everyone on the edge of their seats and break the other team's hearts when he went to go to Miami. I'm taking my talent to South Beach. I am not taking away from the talent this man has. Everyone's comparing him to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Hello? 6 rings, 5 rings, 1 ring. Yes, you've been there for what? This is your 3rd year now? The first year you made it to the finals and lost to the Mavericks. This year last year you beat, or 2 years ago that was that. Then last year you beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's see what you do this year. You just lost to a team with 1 win. Yes, I know the regular season isn't interesting to you. It's like with the Lakers too. It doesn't matter. But the point is, a man that has caused so much ruckus, where he has so many cities that can't stand him, the most hated man in the NBA, and he's Sportsman of the Year because he won a championship. Why ain't Dwayne Wade? Why ain't Chris Bosh in that? Why is it LeBron James a Sportsman of the Year? Exactly. I despise that man more than life itself, but you can't take away from the talent he has. He's a Bulls killer, but what can you say? But that's my first edition of Yoni's Take. Why is he Sportsman of the Year? It could have been so many other different Preview things. NFL weekend. First, the Bears are going to be in Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Bears just faced the Vikings. The Vikings had to face Bears, Packers, Bears. This is another big game for the Bears. Again, I think the same thing would happen with the with the Packers last week. Jared Allen was on top of Aaron Rodgers, and he got him a couple of good times. That's what the Bears are going to have to watch out for this week. Again, it's the Dome, and I think it's going to be a good matchup. It's going to be a game where where the Bears need to really be, again now with Brian Urlacher pretty much being out the rest of the regular season, that's going to be a tough thing, and I think with that, now the defense is going to have to step up just as much, but I think the offensive line is going to really have to step up, knowing Jared Allen's right there. He's hungry. They've lost both of these last 2 games, have the Vikings, and the Bears are coming off a tough loss to the Seattle Seahawks, so this is a game that the Bears need to win. It is in Minnesota, so that makes it a little bit tougher, but nonetheless, this is a game that they know that they can win. But again, you have to also watch out for Adrian Peterson. He's a guy that's having an unbelievable year in a year where no one even thought he was going to be playing, and he is able to do that. So great job so far this year by Adrian Peterson. But now with Brian Urlacher out, they have to step up that much more to stop him. And so we'll see. And also, Christian Ponder's getting married to, I want to say her name's Stacey Steele. I think I'm getting that wrong. But she's on ESPN, so congratulations to that. They're engaged. And for the Packers-Lions, that'll be Sunday Night Football tomorrow night. I think that's a game that the Packers should also be able to handle. It's going to be a tough one. I think the Packers know that they got a lot to prove. But they also, Detroit, this game will be in Green Bay. The Lions are struggling right now. They haven't been able to much. Calvin Johnson, I was talking on the Yoni and Max show about how Calvin Johnson pretty much is the Manning curse, but he's starting to get a little bit better. I think if Matthew Stafford connects with him on Sunday night, I think that's going to be a big key, and if he can do that, I think they're going to be good, because the Packers' defense has struggled, but I think their offense, they also re-signed Ryan Grant in the Packers, but the Packers, once they get healthy, that's when you're going to see this team really come to form. I think this should be a good game for them, but this is also a game for the Lions, who look like pretty much they're not going to be in the playoffs, but just to play spoiler and help the Bears out, and that would definitely be big. So for a Bear fan, the Lions are your favorite team coming into this weekend. So again, the Packers, but I say you have to watch out for, I think Stafford to Johnson combo should be big, but for the Packers, they're just going to have to possibly run the ball a little bit more or pass it. We'll see how Aaron Rodgers is able to do. Greg Jennings should be in there, I believe, as well. That is previewing NFL weekend. Bears-Vikings will be noon on Fox. Lions and the Packers will be on at 7:30 on NBC. Monday on Yackin with Yoni, we're going to recap NFL and NBA weekend, plus the brand new edition of Katie's Corner. That and plus